What's up? Welcome to the show. Apologies to you all. I had technical issues with my laptop. As soon as I logged in, the screen just went blank and everything was freezing. So every time I opened the browser, everything was freezing. But anyway, let's put that behind us. Hopefully the show goes well. I'm here today with my man Vator Games. Follow him on his channel. He does a program Why Always Me. It's calm, it's good, it's full of information. And he does a show where he also analyzes other podcasters or any sort of broadcast. If they're talking about issues, let's say about football, he gives his humble, honest opinion, which is amazing because sometimes some people have to get checked. Let's be honest. Some people have to get checked. They get away with stuff. Let's be honest, Peter. Is it true? Like sometimes I watch Talk Sports and I'm like, somebody has to check this fella. What the hell are they saying? Do you get my point?
It's very true, man. There's a lot of nonsense out there. And there's also a case of people thinking that they can say one thing one week and no one's going to remember that they said something totally opposite the following week. So yeah, people got to get checked, and I try to do it respectfully. So
yeah, it's good, man. At least you're not doing it to discredit somebody, because I've seen you when you start your show, you make it known that you're not discrediting somebody. Yeah, just coming from your point, giving an opinion, trying to. You also agree with certain people what they say. So look, welcome McLovin. McLovin says, "What are we saying?" So look, McLovin, welcome to the show. Everybody watching, like the vid. We're here to do the preview for the match, and I'm pretty sure in about 12 minutes or 10 minutes we'll be hearing about the lineup. I've tried to look on Twitter. I haven't really seen much, but we'll be looking at the lineup. Unfortunately, I think Carl came in and then he came out. Adam was asking me what time we're starting the show. I told him that any time now. But now he's also asking for the link again after I sent the link to him multiple times. So anyway, it looks like let me just send that link to Adam, and then let me just see a few people, because we also had a guest here. I don't know if maybe they're not gonna make it anyway, so that's fine. Anyway, let's move on. So look, let me just bring this up. So as we're talking, we have something to look at. But how are you feeling as I'm looking at this? How are you feeling today, Peter? Because we're playing West Ham away, right, at the London Stadium. They've been very good this season at their stadium. Obviously they're out of the is it Europa? They were in the Europa? Were they? Yeah, they were in Europa. Yeah, they're out of that. And right now, they're playing to get back into the Europa. So how do you feel about this game with everything that's going on at Man City right now and everything that's going on in the league and with everything that's going on with Liverpool?
This is a nervous game. Like, this is a serious game. Like, West Ham have been very consistent all season. Like, they've shown that they can play quality football. Obviously, even based off of their standings within the league, I wouldn't say that they've prioritized. They've had their focus on Europa, but they've also made sure to have good standing within the league. So I don't think we can take them lightly. I know we'll get into it, but I think based off of our team health and that status, we're gonna have to put in a very serious and focused effort, man, to make sure that this match is won. But West Ham's no joke. I respect them highly.
Yeah. So welcome to the chat, Charlie. Charlie says Laporte and Fernandinho are in the matchday squad. Yeah, I sort of figured that out. I figured that they were benched because it was a precaution. I don't think it was that bad. They were seen walking around in training. So that's good news for us. But as Vator says, we have to be serious from the beginning in this game. We have to come with seriousness, same way as De Bruyne came with seriousness in the last game, and even in the Newcastle game, where he knows that we have to score here. We have to make sure that goal difference is too big at the point where it's going to demotivate Liverpool. So welcome, Kyle. How you doing, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm well. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, Vader. Good morning, Patrick.
Morning, girl.
Yeah, cool. So, what do you think about this game? The same thing as us, Veta. That how are you feeling about this game? With how things are right now, with Liverpool winning the FA Cup, how things are with the league right now, with West Ham. Apparently today is the captain's last day, Mark Noble. So we're gonna honor him. What a servant to West Ham. Fair play to the guy. He's played for so long. Mark Noble was good, but he couldn't take it to the next level. But he's done his job in the Premier League. He and Milner, Barry. Remember Barry, the guy Barry who used to play for us too. Those guys have done it so well. They've never been the top.
Are you asking me about West Ham or are you asking me about Man City, man?
I'm asking you about Man City.
Yes, why are you going on about West Ham, man? You're just talking about West Ham.
because that's how you do. You have to appreciate the people you're playing with. You have to appreciate the people you're playing with. Like Mark Noble has played in the Premier League for so long, so you have to give somebody like that respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care about West Ham. I don't care about nobody's irrelevant to me at this point in time. They just cannon fodder right now for us to get the win. Couldn't stand it. It's been there for a million years. It's been there for 1 year. I don't care.
You came with a very salty mood, isn't it?
No. West Ham are not our friend today. Be clear. Let's be very clear.
No, they're not. But I believe in sportsmanship. I believe like somebody like Mark Noble, you still have to say, fair play to Mark Noble for being here.
Actually, my point is that you can say fair play to him at the last game of the season after they play whoever is going to play in game 38. But today, we're in warrior mode, man. There's no sympathy. There's no.
I think that's where we differ. I do sportsmanship. You can do war. I will do sportsmanship. So go ahead. Anyway, go ahead with your war gathering.
Yeah,
and Better can also have his chat.
Just go there, destroy them, and get the 3 points. I had no excuses, man. There's no excuse because all of a sudden, the whole media and all the media are now West Ham fans. Everybody's a West Ham fan because they all want to stop the City's team, who have plus 72 goals, second highest goal scoring, goal difference in the league after the Centurion season. They all want to stop them. All of a sudden, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup is more important than the Premier League, right?
I haven't seen that much of juice than.
Maybe you've been living in a rock, man. For the past
no, I have been. I was watching BN Sports. I was watching Sky Sports. I was watching Talk Sports. It's not the same thing as the Wolves game. The Wolves game, they were openly saying, "Oh, City are going to drop points there. Wolves are so great." The West Ham, I haven't seen much. Not much. I've seen from
give it 30 minutes. You see what will happen right now when you turn on the TV. Sky Sports.
Thank you, Charlie, for that. That's from Simon. Yeah, Simon is very reliable for Man City. Says Laporte and Fernandinho start. Okay, that's great. I don't understand why he's not playing Ake, but anyway, he's the coach, not me. Simon, said by Simon and Charlie. Where do you see this? It's Simon, Alex. Go to Simon. Simon is very reliable. So, Veta, what were you about to say?
I was going to say, Carl's approach. I see where he's coming from. Like, we have 2 matches remaining in the season. We can actually make the last match of the season like a mute point, a match that's not necessary because of us handling business today. So I get the warrior mode that Carl's in, right? He's kind of like Bernardo Silva right now. I'm not really going to clap on Liverpool in their guard of honor. Now's not the time. I'm in warrior mode. I'll do that after.
Nah, I wouldn't clap for Liverpool. I hate Liverpool. I despise them.
Let me rephrase the question another way.
You talked about sportsmanship, and that's where I was kind of coming from with it.
Let me rephrase the question another way for you, Patrick. Would you so Mark Noble scores 2 goals against us today. You're going to still clap for him?
No, I think you don't get where I'm coming from. I think remember, I've always told you. I think there's a difference between you and me. I think you see things in a different way. Because look, if you have told me multiple times that you're confident of our team, right? Listen. You gave us that confidence. You came multiple times and told us to always back our team. I can say Mark Noble, well done. Mark Noble ain't doing shit in Man City if De Bruyne is on fire and Bernardo Silva is on fire. So even if I clap for Man Noble, so that well done, I don't think he will do anything. He will change today. He will become Ronaldinho, Ronaldinho today because I clapped for him.
My point is, after the game we won, I can clap for Mark Noble. I will clap for him and say, well done, Mark Noble. You deserve all the honors after we won the game. But before we won the game, Mark Noble should be counted for that for me. I don't care, man. I do not care.
He's actually sitting on the bench anyway.
I want to
awesome. I'll be fine.
And get the result.
Yeah, if he's sitting on the bench, then obviously his manager is going to bring him on to get the clap for the fans, not our fans, but for their fans to clap him onto the field and give them a salute. So, yeah, but we'll definitely deal with that after the match.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be salty. I'm just in game mode because I recognize.
No. Look. Everybody's allowed. You can be in game mode. I will not back down from my.
That's fine. That's
fine. Well done, Mark Noble. Well done, people like Milner. Well done, people like Barry. Barry retired, so he used to play for us. Well done to him. All I was trying to say is these midfielders were never like the De Bruyne's, were never whatever, but they did put in a shift. Well done to them. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'll be put in the Hall of Fame because of doing that. Let me read. Let me read a few comments here. Alex, welcome, man. He says, awesome. I'll be flying during the game, unfortunately. Hopefully good news when I land. No, it will definitely be good news. As I said in the last game against Wolves that these boys are hungry for it. It will take an amazing performance out of this world performance from the other team for anything to happen. Or as always, Carl says, you take the refs. Charlie, maybe he doesn't want to left-footed center backs at the back, Patrick. I know, but he's done it before. But anyway, Ake used to play at the right-hand side in Bournemouth, by the way.
Yeah, so I want to dismiss this myth about two left-footed center backs. So a lot of fans talk about this thing. It's a complete myth, right? So in Liverpool, we have two right-footed center backs, right? We have Van Dijk and Van Dijk and Konate. There's no difference between two left-sided center backs and two right-sided center backs. There's no difference. For some reason, in the minds of a lot of fans, we have to have, if there's balance, we have to have left and right. Yes, it helps out, but it's no different than having two right center backs. In fact, I would even argue that having two left-sided center backs is actually better than having two right-footed center backs because you can distribute the ball on either side a little better. One goes left to the left, one goes to the right using the left. So it's easier to move the ball left and right using two left-footed center backs. You know, they have more control. Left-footed players are more dynamic and they're more intelligent generally with the ball. So this whole idea about having two left center, it's perpetuated this whole City fandom, and it's just a myth. It's really a myth.
You know, you can't blame the City fans. This was said by Mr. Pep himself that he likes balance. That's the reason why he likes left and right. So I think it was himself who said it.
Yeah, but my point is that two left-footed center backs is no different than two right-footed center backs. Are you hearing me?
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool have two right. Most teams have two right-footed center backs late. Barcelona, Real Madrid, maybe the old Real Madrid. You know, the Liverpool have two right-footed center backs. Okay, two left-footed center backs is no different than that. There isn't a disadvantage having that as opposed to two right-footed center backs. Is my point. Having left and right is good because it gives you balance. But two left-footed makes no difference.
Yeah, and it's going back to the point too as well, where Pep said it. It provides balance because obviously he will have a certain choreography with how he would want some of the build-up and passes out of the back. That's where he's coming from. But we've obviously seen it having, two right-footed center backs on our squad, even with regards to the dynamic between Diaz and Stones. I think where it plays out really well is a player like Stones, who his left quote unquote weak foot is still of quality, right? So it's all manageable. I don't think it's a huge concern for us. But again, it's not the ideal for what Pep would want.
Vader, I don't like this lineup, man.
Oh, I'm just seeing it right now. Hold on.
Oh, there's bear with me for a minute. Let me just read the comments and we can go to the lineup. Okay. YSK, how you doing, man? We're doing well. Hope you're well. Why are you arguing with Carl? It's a sign of recognition, mate. What are you on about? Milner is a horrible person. Look, That's the thing. I don't know. I'm sorry. I come from a different background in my family. Even if somebody throws a stone at our house, we don't cause beef in our family. Our father always told us, somebody does that, leave them how they are. They have done it. God
Patrick,
will deal with them. Life will deal with them.
Let me explain. It's not about beef. What I'm saying to you is, right now, for me, the most important thing is the 3 points right now.
I know.
Hold on. I will celebrate him and clap for him. But right now, he's cannon fodder. Because if we lose this game, we lose against Aston Villa, the whole clapping for Milner and clapping for Mark Noble is going to be irrelevant. I just want the 3 points.
So you can't just say, I can just say fair play for his career.
No,
that's what
after the game, I will say fair play. Not now. After the game.
Nah, I don't know. I think maybe let's just disagree to agree here, because I'll never drop something that I've been taught for years. So it's fine. I'll still give somebody the flowers that, look, you've done it so well in the Premier League. And the funny thing is, either I clap, I'm still confident in the team. It's still Man City. Let's not forget, they're not playing with Watford. They're not playing Watford. So let's move on to the lineup anyway. Did not expect 5-1 away to Wolves. We barely beat them 1-0 at home. Always happy to be scoring. Yeah, that was true. Nobody expected. I'm being nice. He's a scumbag. Okay, grand. Yeah, this team is good. Yeah, let's see. Let's hear the panel. Adam, are you there? Okay. So, Carl, you say you don't like the lineup. Can you please explain to us and the audience why you don't like the lineup?
Inverted wingers against a low block. That's the thing. You have Grealish and Mahrez, 2 inverted wingers. It just makes me. I mean, you lose Foden, you lose Sterling because you have natural wingers. We're going to inverted wingers again, which means it's probably looking for a point. You know, I don't know, man. I just don't like Mahrez and Grealish as inverted wingers. I just don't like it.
Okay, what about yourself, Veta? What do you think?
And Mahrez doesn't cover the right side. You know, he doesn't cover the right side, and Cancelo's right there with Fernandinho. It just.
I think. Well, let me start with the positives, though. I think I don't think any of us are surprised with the defensive lineup. I mean, to your point, Patrick, you'd mentioned where's Ake. I kind of see that, but we obviously have. We have them in backup in case, knock on wood, nothing happens. But subs are necessary in the defensive side. But that's looking good in terms of trusting the defense. No surprise with Rodri. KDB, obviously, he knows the importance. Bernardo, again, I think he and Rodri are going to be probably the more deeper midfielders. And then, Kevin De Bruyne's going to run the show. And with Mahrez and Grealish, I hear Carl's point, right? Because if the defense does sit up to be very compact and sit deep, then all the action we kind of have on the wings, on the side, is really not a threat because it has to come inside. So there's not going to be any push with regards to the depth to even get further down or deeper into their final third. So that I kind of see it. Unfortunately, we've seen the pattern so often, right? With the inverted wingers, Mahrez, Grealish, they will make their way pretty much to the top of the 18. And now that they got to the top of the 18, they're now coming back, right? We don't really see them push that depth. So if we expect that against a very deep defense, I think it's going to be a frustrating day on our part. Like, we're going to want the goals early, but I think we're going to see a very patient game, unfortunately. And then I like Jesus in the middle, target man. I think he deserves to continue and find that form that had him going. The rumors have picked back up again about him going elsewhere, so he's probably going to throw in another 3-4 goals for us. So. Let's look at it that way.
I think he's looking at this. I think he trusts Mahrez to show up in big games, like in important games. I think I've noticed that through the Champions League and recently. I think Mahrez, he sees him as somebody who he'll finish for me. I know in the Madrid game, the first one, he did badly, but overall Mahrez has actually been one of those that has been scoring. He's our top goal scorer, if I'm not wrong right now. Grealish seems like he's picked up a bit of form and confidence recently. He's running at players. Like, look, end of the day, Pep is a fan of embedded wingers. Carl hates it, I know, but Pep seems to be a big, massive fan of that. But look, this team can cook. There's Bernardo now who's in, and De Bruyne, Rodri. I am more confident with looking at this lineup. I don't know. I'm just more confident and looking at Raheem and Foden on the bench, that if things are not working out, Raheem and Foden will come in. For me, if Ake was fully fit, I would have gone with a more Ake in the back also, just to make it more solid. But I know Zinchenko is there because he's good at passing the ball and he's good at attacking, and he doesn't, as Pep said, Zinchenko is one of his players that never really makes a passing mistake. His passing is very good and precise. So I don't know. So it looks like what's his name? Adam, you're back, isn't it? He says I'm back, and now he's gone again. Anyway,
No,
so
1 second. I'll be back. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. I'm just speaking to my mic.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So looking at the lineup, right? So we don't even have to do a lineup. So we're just doing a reaction lineup. Where do you think we can hurt West Ham? I'm gonna try find the lineup is the strongest one they have. They have Zuma in the back. They have Vladimir Cafu. They have Greg Dawson. They have Aaron Croswell. They have Thomas Suchek. They have Declan Rice. They have Bowen. They have Lanzini. They have Pablo. And they have Antonio. So where do you think we can hurt? West Ham today, Carl? Because I saw the two Frankfurt games.
Well, I mean, the reality is that the way PS picked this team, he's looking for a point. That's what he's doing.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Vladimir Cafu, right? Greg Dawson.
What he's doing is trying to get a point. He says 4 points is what wins it. He's looking for the last game of the season. When you play inverted wingers, you're trying to control the game. That's what you're trying to do. So you're going to see a lot.
What are you talking about, Pep? I thought you were talking about West Ham.
Oh, you want to talk about West Ham? I mean, they're going to do what they do. They're going to sit back and counterattack with Antonio and Bowen and Rice. That's what they're going to do. Sit deep and try to counterattack and then waste time. That's all they're going to do. So when we play inverted wingers, we play into their hands because you invert the wingers into the field, into traffic, and you have no width. That's why,
I'd also jump in and say that the one thing that we do know, and if the expectation is that they're going to play deep and look for the counter, then with Mahrez and Grealish, maybe the instructions is to do a lot of recycling the ball, like frustrate West Ham by holding so much possession. And to your point, if it is to play for 1 point, though, it'll be for Manchester City to just dictate the game from the very beginning. In terms of we're not going to put the chance of losing possession in dangerous points of the field. So, Mahrez, when the ball goes over there, I've said it before, any crosses that go his way, it's sticking to his foot, and hopefully the instructions is it's going to cycle through, and maybe all dangerous attempts are going to be to try to find De Bruyne based off of the form that he's in, or Jesus. Maybe that may be the approach. I would encourage that based off of how the team's been. But it might be a tough 15 minutes, guys, just to see how they go. Because
I'm actually confident in Grealish. Even though Big Morgan says Grealish is the weakest link, I don't think he is. I don't know if it's just me. Something like it looked like a penny dropped in the Madrid game. Remember in the first Madrid game where he came on, I think a penny has dropped. I've noticed now, instead of just passing the ball, he's going at his defender. He's going at the fullback and he's going front. He's no longer just because he had a behavior where he was too safe and just you're like, this is not the Grealish I was seeing against Liverpool, against United when he destroyed United and scored that curler and beat De Gea who didn't move. Like I was like, where is this Grealish gone? But I've noticed recently he's doing it. He's confident in his team. He started driving forward. So I wouldn't call him the weakest link because I've also seen him track back. I have seen Grealish track back more than Mahrez. Am I wrong? I have seen him track back more than Mahrez. I've seen him go back and cause a tactical foul. So
it's the pace. It's the pace at which he tracks back. Yeah, he comes back, but he doesn't run with the same intensity to actually properly cut off lanes or actually get in the middle to break up passes. Like, it's just something that he hasn't quite acquired. I'm not saying he's not able to, but I haven't seen it consistently enough from him.
I just worry the Vader that inverted. I mean, and inverted wingers versus a low block. He's playing for a point. He's trying to protect the back line.
Do you think maybe if things are not working, because let's not forget, right? You know, Pep, Cow and Veta and Adam, we might be saying Jesus down the middle. You find this Grealish down the middle. Remember, Jesus can switch around. Remember? Yeah, you can.
I hope that's true. I hope it's true.
Yeah.
But Jesus going to play left side?
No, yeah. Remember, Jesus likes swapping. Remember, he likes switching. When things are not working out.
But is that Jesus' best position? I mean, here's a question for you, right? What's the difference between this Wolves game and West Ham? They both play low blocks, right? But in the Wolves game, we played natural wingers, and guess what? We won 5-1. We were dynamic. We haven't had all the space. Now we're playing inverted wingers, which means your field is going to be narrow. You're not going to have that much space, which means you're playing for a point. You know,
and I'll say this too: with the inverted wingers, I don't want to see any attempt at overlapping from our fullbacks. I don't want to see any of that. Because again, that makes us even more susceptible to a counter.
But they're not very disciplined to stay back. I have noticed that never disciplined to stay back. Those two you will find Zinchenko, Cancelo in a box. I have seen it multiple times. They just attack. Like, remember, imagine this: for years and years, you've been playing in school. You're just an attack, and then you like it's just sometimes natural, you know. But I know, like, look, it depends. I noticed in the other games, in the Wolves game. It's only when we started beating Wolves that much. That's when I started seeing Cancelo doing his dribbles and trying to shoot. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, there's a comment here saying Raheem doesn't work with low block. He's not effective.
No, Raheem is. Raheem is effective on the right. Raheem on the right is fire. There's no one better than Raheem on the right. Even Mara is not as good as Raheem on the right. Right. Problem with Raheem is finishing. That's his problem. His work rate on the right is great. He runs. He dribbles. His issue is just finishing the ball in the goal. That's his issue.
It's quite frustrating to know that player, the only thing left is he finishes, though, but if he had a higher percentage of finishing, he would be one of the best players in the world. If not,
Raheem would be world class if he could finish. He would be world class.
For me today, I just want us to simplify stuff today. Just when we get a chance, we see our teammate in a better position, we pass. So I don't want no stupidity from Riyad Mahrez where he can clearly see his teammate in a better position than him, and then he decides he wants to take a shot from God knows where, when he can clearly see his teammate is in a better position than him. So I want us to do the correct decisions today. Just simplify stuff, you know, rather than making things so complicated, you know.
Yeah, my concern with Mahrez is always will he cover Cancelo? He doesn't cover that right side. Once anybody beats him, he kind of trots and jogs halfway to the line and lets Cancelo live by himself. That's my concern. You know,
he picks and chooses when he wants to track back. Exactly. Some games he tracks back very well. I've seen him before.
No, but
it looks like he doesn't do it always.
Have you guys realized when, say, he's on Pep's side, you see him tracking back, but when he's, say, far away on the other side from Pep, he does not. So in a sense, when he's on Pep's side, yeah, Pep is yelling at him, and that's when you see him. He's tracking back. But when he's on the other side, is that I don't give a crap.
Yeah, that's.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll take it that happens from. I'm hoping that Grealish balls in this game because this is a game that if he does well and carries the team, this will help him for next season. It'll help his street cred for next season. If he flatlines again today, you know it's going to be a.
But haven't we seen signs though? Carl, I think you and me spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
Since that Madrid thing where he almost scored, he looks like now he's just going at like even the Wolves game. He just took the ball and he's just going forward and he's very dangerous. So Pep was right. Pep remember saying that Grealish carries the ball and he moves so fast. He moves it so fast, but it sticks to his leg. All you have to do is have to bring him down. I think if he continues that way and if he does it today, you're right, Carl. That.
I think that
he's a player, guys. He's a player. You know that, right? This guy is a player.
I think he's finding his mojo, meaning that he's discovering who he is and what his role is in the team, slowly but surely. Because don't forget, when you come into a Guardiola team, you look around, you see De Bruyne, you see Foden, you see Bernardo Silva. These are big boys, man. These aren't little kids like, Buendia and all these guys at Aston Villa. So it takes time to kind of get used to the crowd and build yourself in. And I think it's taking time for him to settle down. And now he feels free. And I hope that he does that today.
Yeah, let me also add, because what you guys said, and that's why I love the different perspectives that we all have when we kind of chime in, because we layer on actually positive that we're all seeing, but from different angles. I think Grealish was showing signs where he's like, you know what, there's more that I can do, because I do have the confidence in myself. My teammates are telling me that I can do this, and I believe that it was prior to that FA Cup game where there were quotes coming out of practice where teammates are being like, Grealish, shoot, what are you doing? You've shown us so many amazing things in training, and you're playing against the best in training. Like, now get in the game and do the same thing. And he scored that goal in the FA Cup, and since then, he's shown a lot more aggressive play. He's shown, even with regards to my criticism, that he's not always trying to put it on his right and cut in. He's actually taking them down the side. Now, and again, I'm not giving him an excuse. I'm not giving the team an excuse. But I think the reason why I'm so confident in Grealish, and to your point, Patrick and Carl, there is a baller in there. There is a player, and we know this. Why would the club spend so much on him? Why would Pep want to acquire the type of player that he is? But I think there's also the dynamic, and Carl being the coach, he definitely he can see this. If the ball gets to Grealish, there's still 10 other players that need to react, right? And let's say it's also a tandem. And we've talked about like Pep and his choreography and players going here or there depending on what the situation is. When Grealish has the ball, I think not only is he wondering, what are my teammates doing now that I have the ball, because he's taking some dribbles looking up, but then there's also his teammates, where his teammates don't know, do I put my head down? For example, his partner on the other wing, does his teammate put his head down now that he sees that Grealish is now attacking his player to maybe go far post, right? Or do I cheat and maybe go far post or drag wide to then possibly cut in, because I know Grealish is now going to cut it on his right and maybe bring the ball. So there's so many things with regards to Grealish and the trust, or not the trust, but Grealish and kind of like the instinctful understanding that, okay, he's here in this position, I know to do this as his partner player on the other side. That's the thing that's kind of missing, and I think he's going to be so much better within the club next year. You're muted.
No, I agree with you.
Have you noticed he only has that with Raheem and Foden? When he does the 1-2s with Raheem and Foden, he seems that Foden and Raheem know where Grealish is running to. In the recent games, in the Foden one, he did one with Raheem where Raheem hit it with his back, and he passed it back to Raheem, back to him. Maybe it's because they play together in England and maybe he's closer to them. So you're right, that hasn't happened to him yet. Who remembers the combination of David Silva and Sane, which was one of the most dangerous combinations we've ever had? I don't know if people know that was a combination. It was one of the most dangerous combinations we ever had in that 2017 season.
You know why? You know why it was the most dangerous we ever had?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know why? Because what foot was David Silva in the half space on the left-footed? What was Sane on the left wing? Left-footed. So you have natural wingers with a left-sided number 8 on the left. What do you expect to happen? Stretch the field, move into the pockets, create chances, score goals.
Well, we have a left footer in Foden who can play midfield maybe in the future.
Reiner was on the other side, right-footed. Sterling was on the other side, right-footed. And Aguero was in the middle. There's a reason why we scored so many goals. We were so dynamic. We weren't inverted. We were natural. You know. But
let me ask you something. Why is you're here? I think it's about time to ask you this. You don't like inverted wingers, right? So when do they work? You as a coach, tell us, when do they work? When do inverted wingers work?
I think inverted wingers will probably work when you have a mid block. So when you have for example, against Liverpool, for example, sometimes it can work, right? Because they play a high line mid block where the player can dribble through and go through the middle or go through the middle. With a low block, there's no space. We are low against the goalkeeper. Now you have a 5 in the back. Whenever you come back and you're coming back into traffic. Let's say Mbappe, for example, right? Kylian Mbappe for PSG, right? He plays that like an inverted winger, right? He does, right? But he always has the space to run in behind, because on that left side, he's right footed. He can curl the ball into the goal. Against a defensive team, it's always very hard to play inverted wingers against a low block. You run into traffic. You're making the field smaller. But I don't know.
And you know what we find.
This is a good question here. You want to answer it, Vetas? Yeah. After you what you said, you want to also answer this guy's question, because he's right. I think so. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Mahrez having been effective in matches where there's been low blocks is different to saying having inverted wingers is
both sides
on both sides
Yeah.
is a good approach against a low block, because also with regards to our team, presently constructed, there's no height.
Exactly.
So even with regards to the whips into the box, if you're playing against a low block where there is height, especially along their defensive line, our players aren't going to win those aerials. So you're looking for them to kind of get into spaces maybe where they can maybe catch a step on the defense. But if everything's going wide, coming in, and again, let me also say, low blocks are troublesome for all teams, right? Because just that defensive approach, that's why you hear other managers, that's why you heard Klopp crying the other day with versus Tottenham, because in terms of style of play, it's very difficult to break down, period, right? But I would also say this. We haven't seen, because as you guys were talking about, like the deadly combinations, Silva and Sane, and then that got me thinking to Sterling, and Sterling was attempting to do it just the other day. We don't see much of the, Carl, like the setup play where Sterling's kind of standing tall and kind of like laying off the pass, and then the burst of speed, like the 1-2 for him to. We don't see much of that.
We don't.
And whereas in the past when we were talking about those deadly combos, how many times would Sane and Sterling back in the day kind of lull players to sleep and then burst of speed, and then the other one is now racing down as well to kind of get the cross. That's where we can we'd have an advantage if we were playing wider and having wingers on their natural foot.
The other thing is that, this question that the guy raised about Mahrez playing against low block. So Mahrez can play the right side. I'm okay with that, him playing the right side. But if Foden is on the left side, all of a sudden Foden has the width because he's left-footed on the left side. And whenever that happens, we overload the left side with De Bruyne and Foden on the left side, which means Mahrez is now free on the right to do what he has to do with space, right? So that's what we do. We play one left-footed player like Foden on the left-hand side with De Bruyne overloading that left side, which means that Mahrez, who's inverted, is now on the right side, but he has space. He's now 1v1 with the player.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because we're overloading one side, right? My problem is when you have two inverted wingers, you narrow the field. Now, all of a sudden, what they want to do is cut into traffic, which means now Cancelo or Zinchenko now have to go on the outside, right, to cross the ball inside, which exposes us to a counter-attack. So this is my issue with it, right? It's just my personal preference. Even when I coach my kids on the field, I don't like playing inverted wingers. It just doesn't work for me.
I would be so interested if you ever end up coaching with Pep, how you two would argue every day.
Because
he loves them. I'd like to see that conversation between you and Pep. You say no.
I'm a grain of sand. Pep is like the sun. I'm not even nowhere near. Nowhere near. But it's just a personal preference. I just see things like, why is this guy playing inverted wingers against a low block? It just doesn't work. Unless you're playing for a point.
I don't know. I wouldn't really think Pep would be playing for a point here. I think Pep boy is going after the neck. He always wants to make sure he kills you.
Why are you playing inverted wingers then?
We've seen them work before in the past. We've seen them work before in the past.
I'm hopeful.
Do you remember there's been a few times where we are busy talking, saying, why is Mahrez doing it? Why is he there? The inverted wingers are not working. And then, boom, go, Mahrez. You know what I mean?
See, as I think about this, because of, again, we don't see enough of it from Grealish, but he's capable. We do see it in Mahrez, and it resulted. I'm referring to that first goal, first leg against Real Madrid for Mahrez. I think maybe some of the thinking, because of the fantastic form that De Bruyne's in, the great form that Jesus has shown over many games, maybe that in terms of an approach and attacking kind of like pockets within the center of the field, maybe there's going to be a reliance on some of these whip passes that can come from Mahrez, whether it's low or maybe aerial, but I doubt that. But maybe that's the focus, right? He's going to have these inverted wingers. Grealish as well as Mahrez are going to be looking to get the ball into Jesus and De Bruyne somewhere within that field. Maybe they're going to be, the two of them are going to be working together within the center of that pitch. But I don't know, man. I'm at least confident with how they're set up defensively. I think the attempts that West Ham are going to try to do with regards to the counter, hopefully the last man isn't Fernandinho in terms of like how they set up in terms of like the back three. But yeah,
look. He's leaving also. Let me also give Fernandinho his flowers. Fernandinho has been a servant to us for so long, and this is his last season. There's something inside me saying he's going to give it his all. Look, at the end of the day, age catches up with you. Your legs are gone. People don't believe it. Sometimes when age is age when it comes to you. But in these old players, there's always a game in them. There's always a last game in them. So I believe, regardless, I have a feeling that he knows that this is so important, and he knows you know yourself as a player that we need to win this, and I'm the captain, and they're depending on me. I'm pretty sure. I get what you mean. Him being the last man would be a bit against Antonio maybe, but let's talk about like somebody else who's faster. But I just believe that he's gonna give it his all, because he knows that 2 games left. This is the reason why I have a bit of confidence. So I was saying, Carl, who has been a mercenary of confidence since we first met him, has actually given us confidence. Some of us these days we go in games and we back our team. I just feel like I have this feeling that 2 games left. Just imagine, guys, you've 2 games left. There's a trophy. There's no way you're giving that. You're gonna give it your all. Go ahead.
Let's break it down statistically, right? So let's say worst case scenario, we lose this game. God forbid we lose this game. Yeah. Liverpool win their game, right? They have to score.
We're power on points, yeah.
We're level on points, right? But we have a positive goal difference. It goes to the last day, right? It goes to the last day. You think that these boys are going to lose at home against Villa, against Gerrard? Yeah. So that becomes, ultimately the issue. I mean, what do I expect from this game? Will I be disappointed with a point? No. We're still ahead, but I'll be happy with a win. I just want this game. I just want Grealish to step up to this game. I really want him to kind of shush everybody up, and just play lights out, and just use that as
his critics
to build for the next season.
He has to. Adam, do you have anything to say before we move on and start getting ready for the game?
No, I'll say we're going to win the game. I'm sure of it. Whether West Ham scored, just like what's their name? Like I forgot their name already. Wolves. Yeah, we'll end up still winning the game.
I forgot that name. You've just made me laugh. I forgot. So you already forgot Wolves' name. A bit disrespectful. Anything, guys, you want to say before we move on?
I think we should look at the team and see that they know the importance of this match, right? There's 2 games left. They've been tired of hearing all of the different narratives with regards to all the other teams in the league versus Manchester City. I think they want to put a lot of things to bed, maybe like change the conversation. And again, there's that continued pressure that we're able to do, winning our matches, and then requiring a team like Liverpool to have to respond to. So I think the players go out and they put in a professional game. I'm confident in the win.
What about yourself, Kyle?
Yeah, just get the job done, man. Just go there, play our game, get the job done, professional. And roll on to Next week is next Sunday when Haaland will be at the stadium, according to what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been actually sitting here watching his highlights of the games he's played so far. Obviously, okay, let me just say this anyway, because I know people were trying to criticize him and downplay that he can't do link up. Guys, it's a lie. I've been watching long highlights, like the ones that are 15 minutes. The kid has got skills. there's nutmegs, there's dribbling, there's everything. The kid has skills. So there were fools here when he signed with us saying that, he can't do this, he does. There's a goal where he scored. I don't know, Carl, you like watching him. The keeper looked it over like how Edison does, right?
Let me even give you a recency bias, okay? The goal that Dortmund scored at the Etihad against City, who gave the assist and where was he?
None other than Haaland.
Thank you very much.
Middle of the pitch, yeah.
Thank you. He was one that dribbled and passed the ball through to somebody else to score. I think it was Bellingham or somebody to score.
Yeah,
it was Bellingham. Bellingham. Yeah, Bellingham. Yeah. I saw him, man. He like the same way as Mahrez drops the ball. Where he just kills the ball with that touch. I was like, wow, the kid has a very nice touch. Like he dropped it and then looked it over the keeper. Over the keeper and went in. So look, guys, I think we're up for greatness. We are up for greatness. As always, respect to the board. People were yapping. I know when we didn't get Harry Kane, I know some of you were on Twitter saying, how can our chairman come and lie to us? Yap. So sometimes it's good for you to see that these people have done so well for us. So that's all I wanted to say before we move on. For me, right now in my head, I see 3-1 to City. That's all I see. I don't know about you, guys, what you're saying.
I'm on the same page. I feel like it will also be a 3-1 City. I could see De Bruyne. Yeah. I was going to say Sterling, but he's probably going to miss it. 25 chances and probably score maybe 26 chances misses and probably score 1. But Sterling, if somehow he misses and he's able to score, yeah. Morris could score as well, but Sterling, I'm not confident that he will score. The amount of chances that he misses.
I think the match is gonna. I'm hoping for a clean sheet, as difficult as it may be. But that's selfish because I want Golden Glove for Edison. But the match, yeah, I don't. 2-0 keeps popping in my head. 2-0 keeps popping in my head. So that's what I'm seeing. But I want to go back to what you were saying with regards to some of the criticism, right, for Haaland. And this is where I don't know if this is how. I guess maybe I'm building on my content for next year already. There's so many big clubs that wanted Haaland. So all these big clubs wanted a player with no link up. All these big clubs wanted a player with no touch. All these big clubs wanted a player that was injury prone. All these big players wanted a player that quote unquote isn't clinical. Okay. You're telling me all the things that he isn't. I'm holding on to those, and that's going to be my conversation with rivals next year, because that's all the rivals have to say right now. They're pointing out all of his flaws. Cool. We just got a player with all of these flaws. Let's see if those ring true next year. That's kind of like where I'm living right now, because everyone is just vexed. They're salty because they didn't get the man that they wanted. He chose little old City.
And you know what else I'm going to hold from rivals is that how they go on about that stupid Bundesliga tax. But they forget that, listen, when I said to them, I gave them a list of players here that we got from the Bundesliga, and they said, no, they owe. Okay, I said, I'll give you recent players. Kevin De Bruyne came from there. Leroy Sané came from there. But when I said De Bruyne, you know what the excuse is? He was previously in the Premier League, but where did City get him from? From the Bundesliga. So either way, it doesn't make a difference. It's like me saying, Patrick is black, but really and truthfully he's white, which doesn't make sense.
See, the reality is that rival fans will do what rival fans do, which is jealous, make an excuse, downplay,
envy as well.
Make everyone look like a failure. I could say the same thing to Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah was at Roma. Was terrible at Roma.
Yeah.
Alisson was terrible at Roma. Terrible at Roma. Used to get battered goals left, right, and center. So what are we talking about? All of a sudden they come to the Premier League. Kulusevski, Juve couldn't get a game. Look at him now in Tottenham, balling. So we just, we need to just ignore these mad rantings of rival fans that make no sense and just enjoy the player that we have. That's all we can do, man.
Yeah, that's true. It's also it's just people. It's jealousy because if you didn't get they didn't get him and the team failed. So there's a lot of jealousy. That's why. Look, as always, I went to do research, so I went to check myself. Trust me, guys. Trust me, City fans. We have a baller on our hands. So, guys, let's move on and just leave this for now. We're just gonna close the stream now. We might do a post match, depending on how free people are. We'll do a post match, so watch out for that, guys. Thank you for joining as always. We appreciate you guys. I just want to say a special thank you to all the subscribers who have subscribed to the channel. We do appreciate. I'm very humbled. Also, a special thank you to all the subscribers who have subscribed for Pitchpoints, subscribers who have subscribed for Veta Games. There's links underneath the stream for the channel for Veta Games. There's also a link to the channel for Pitchpoints. And Adam, you can find him on Twitter and follow him. He does spaces. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do spaces. So, guys, look, as I said, I appreciate the support. The support is great. The next mission is let's get to 1K. Somebody set me that mission. Let's get to 1K before the end of the year. We are currently sitting on 803. 3 of those being my cousins. Anyway, I know that. So, guys, look, get your cousins on board, man. Make them City fans. Get the kids. Make an account for your son. Follow me. Let your son become a City fan. Don't let your son become
dog as well.
Yeah, your dog as well. Don't let them become a United fan and have misery. So let them join in. So, guys, do you have anything to say before we go, man?
Yeah, one more thing. We need to do a show about Frankie de Jong.
Oh, your man. But not with the son. I'm not going to accept the son. Not the son. The other links, I read them. Those are creditable. That tier 2. But the son has bad reviews.
I mean, let the kid just come, man. Why is he wasting time going to United?
Because according to the Man United side and the reports that have been reported is he does want to go to United, but the thing is, it's Champions League football. That's what he's thinking. He says he's listening to what his father Ten Hag is saying. Don't forget, this guy is the hero. He's the guy who molded them, so they'll go to his core. But he says he doesn't want, at the age he is, to go to a team where they're not playing Champions League football unless they're guaranteed to come back to it.
There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee they're going to come back to it. That's the issue. So if I'm 25 years old, right, I have a Guardiola team where there's a need for me right now because Fernandinho is leaving. There's a hole right there. The same case we made for Haaland. I know I can play that role with Rodri. I can play the Gundogan role too. Why am I going to go to United because of Erik ten Hag?
Carl, you know how I see we can get Frankie de Jong and how we can, in a sense, help Barcelona as well, because what's his name? Traore is coming back to Wolves. So in a sense, if Sterling wants to go to Spain, we can chuck Sterling into that deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Either way, both teams win-win. Barcelona get a right wing, for what? Less than what they say would pay for Traore, and we will get a player. In a sense, both teams, will win. We don't have to pay that much in fees.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, this
Barcelona don't have to as well.
This is what we talk about what we say, the case for Frankie de Jong, right? We did the case for Erling Haaland. These are the same kinds of thinking that we made, Patrick and I, around, okay, what's the case for Frankie de Jong? The case is very clear. We have a player that Barcelona needs, Raheem Sterling, who plays the right side. They don't have a right winger because Dembele is going to go on a free. Traore is going back to Wolves. They don't have a right winger. They don't have any width. Okay, give them Raheem Sterling for 30 million, and then bring Frankie de Jong over for 30. Wages are close, right? Maybe Sterling gets a little less over there, but he gets a new challenge. And Frankie de Jong comes in, takes up Fernandinho wages plus Sterling wages, and we play 30 million transfer fee. It's a deal. I don't know.
I hear what you guys are saying. My only concern, though. So, am I muted, or can you guys hear me?
Oh, we hear you.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you. We can hear you clear, man. Go ahead.
Cool. The one thing that I want to say, because we've kind of seen this in the past, is if an incoming player doesn't have his sights fully set on City and maybe is like curious who else is interested in me, Pep's kind of turned those players away. Players that have kind of maybe are drawn from another club. We've seen that with Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez. We've seen that with, I believe we saw that even with Fred that ended up at United. Players that aren't quite sure. Yeah, players that aren't like, I'm going because I want to be a Manchester City player, or I'm going because I also want to work under Pep. If they have some ifs and buts with regards to other clubs, we don't often see them. So I'm not too sure, but he's obviously a player that can.
This is where a good agent calls the kid and say, "Kid, look, we made a mistake before. When you left Ajax to go to Barcelona, nothing happened to you. Now they want to sell you. Okay, you need to do the right thing for yourself. You need to win titles. You need to be competing." The agent now is one who says, "Forget about United. They're not going to win. Get to the champ. They're not in Champions League next year. The year after, the likelihood is that they will not be there again. Why do you want to go and be there? Well, what's the point? Look at Donny van der Beek. He went there. What happened to him? So, dude, and this is where the agent comes into play. Forget about the sentiment of, I used to work for Eric Ten Hag. He was my father. At one point, the fathers leave the house and marry out somebody else. They start a new life for themselves. You know, the case is very strong. We just needs to make that decision.
And not to derail you, but now that you bring up playing in Europe, I think that's why this game's actually very important for us too, because West Ham either has this game against us to catch 3 points, or Brighton, I think, who they play next. And I believe with 3 points they match United, but they have a better goal differential. So
and they get Europa League football.
Yeah, so they're going to be highly motivated to obviously to catch 3 points, whether it's us or Brighton that they play next. So I'm not saying that in terms of like I'm worrisome, but they are motivated to play.
The reality is, Vader, is that frankly they're actually better off in the Conference League than they will be in the Europa League, because they have a better chance of winning the Conference League than Europa League. That's in terms of trophies.
Yeah, but I want to see United in the Conference League.
But no, to be honest with you, I can't today see West Ham having some fatigue from their European games, also the Premier League games that they've all been chucked into one. So in a sense, you can't see some fatigue from the players. But it will be an interesting game, to be honest with you.
I hear that.
Yeah, so anyway,
there's Magnum was cake anyway. On that note, let's say goodbye. The game has already started, and they are focusing on Declan Rice, obviously, because a lot of people are after him. So see you after the game. We're gonna do a post match if everybody's available, so we can do a post match. Anyway, guys, see you, man. Sorry, right. What do you say now?
I said I'm available if you want.
Good crap.
You want to do it?
Cool. Yeah, cool, man. Anyway, see you guys. Go City.
I know.
That's it.